snacks.
Let's just get right to it. Let's not even, you know, we're not gonna pussyfoot around this, beat around the bush. We're just gonna get right to it.
Lord of the Rings or The Matrix?
Matrix.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Spider-Man or Spawn?
Spider-Man.
That was tough.
I had to think about it, but Spider-Man.
Gummy bears or Teddy Grahams?
Gummy bears. Perfect studio food. That's it.
Nintendo or Sega?
Nintendo. Easy. Is that good? That's a good. That's okay. Look, let's just get right to it. Let's not even, you know, we're not gonna pussyfoot around this, beat around the bush. We're just gonna get right to it. The Nolan Batman Trilogy isn't that good.
What?
I like it.
This guy.
Sounds weak.
This guy.
As a trilogy as a whole, right?
Get him out of here.
Let's Batman Begins started out as a phenomenal movie. Like, did what needed to happen in this day and age as far as sitting in the theater watching this movie was like, this is what it would actually be like if Batman existed today and was real. All the way up until the very end. And then at the very end, excuse me, and then at the very end, it turned into a comic book movie. Like, it just got super, like, that movie doesn't even really have a villain, and that was perfectly okay, because it was just a good origin, right? That kind of helped develop it, modernized it, it felt right. And I thought to myself, Nolan's doing something with this. Like, this is okay, again, until the end. And then it just kind of like the chaos in the streets and the fog, and like, people with the glowing eyes, like, it just got a little, out of hand at the end. Okay, what's your favorite movie in the Dark Knight trilogy?
And there's gonna be, my favorite has to be this last two.
Your favorite has to be the last two?
Yeah, because I mean,
you like them equally.
I like all of them, but I like the first one the least.
Okay. Well, that's wrong. So first of all,
cut
the second film. The second film. The Dark Knight. The expectation for The Dark Knight, for me, was what I expected to get from that series of films. Like, it was going to be a darker, grittier, more serious, like, yeah, we gotta take care of business kind of Batman. Instead, what we got in that film was a film that was almost entirely shot during the day. The movie was all day. Very little Batman, much more Bruce Wayne, which we don't really care about. There's no Wayne Manor, there's no Batcave. He's in an office building with secret elevators. For what? Why do you have secret elevators? You're in an empty office building that nobody even knows exists. Listen, all of the rigmarole about who was a better Joker aside, Nicholson. All of that aside, and again,
maybe when you was 11, not now, not from that series.
Nicholson. But if you go back and you pay attention, if you watch each film, what you'll see is that all that really happened with that film was they went back and he borrowed from Nicholson. All of the little things he did with his mouth, you know what I mean? Like, why so serious? That was a cute little catchphrase. But that was in a day of social media and all over billboards. But have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? That's a major thing. This town needs an enema. Like, that was serious, and they both played the Jokers from their respective periods. So as far as that's concerned, we're not even gonna worry about that. The more important thing is, if that movie had been called Batman, the Joker, excellent film. But it wasn't. It's called The Dark Knight, and there was no Dark Knight in that movie at all. Was there? No.
Yeah.
Where?
There was.
Where?
Towards the end.
When?
Towards the end.
What did he do?
And when he went
at the end when he ran into the dark? That's what happened? Yeah.
With the Tokyo?
Get out of here, man.
When he went to Tokyo to bring back the guy?
Who cares when Batman goes to Tokyo? Gotham. That was a dope scene though. Like with the and flying and grabbed the dude out the building. That was cool. And that was pretty much all the Batman you got for the whole film. So let's move on. Third film, Bane was whack. You already know.
Get out.
Joint was terrible.
Out. Never.
And listen, if you don't know about Bane or you don't know that he's supposed to be a luchador,
I know that. I know that.
Come on, let's just I mean, the film it did too much. It tried to do too much to make up for what it didn't do in the film before it, because it didn't do it then either. And they aged him too quickly. Like, I understand it was a trilogy and you were trying to come to an end consensus, but like, really by the time the second film happened, he was like already old. I'm too old for this. I'm beat up and I'm hurt and whatever. And it's like, that's not Batman. Like, that's not. Even if you take it and say this is a Batman from another universe, it's different from the comic books, whatever. Like, I understand all of that, because in order to like any comic book film, you have to remove yourself from the comic books themselves, because they can't do it exactly the way it's done in the comic books. And we all know how the different universes work and all that kind of stuff, multiverse and what have you. Like, I get that. Still, those films were not as enjoyable as the first two Batman films with Michael Keaton. The issue with those early films was that they made them more comic book-y. Like, Gotham's still stuck in like the 1930s, and they look like they were filmed on sets that were built. Where these films were shot like they look like they're on location, and it made it feel more real. That didn't make them good. It made them okay. And the direction that they're going with Batman is still one of an issue right now. So, biggest issue with Batman for me anyway in the movies is that they don't spend enough time focusing on Bruce Wayne. And that balance between Bruce Wayne, and they overdid it in the second Nolan film. Way too much Bruce Wayne, and he was a whiny baby of a Bruce Wayne. Like, when did Alfred become so much tougher than Bruce Wayne? When did that happen? Like, he's always been there to kind of help course correct him or give him good advice or whatever, but like, he's not supposed to be tougher than him. Yeah?
I ain't get that.
You ain't get that?
I ain't get that at all.
You didn't get it?
I disagree with
you should watch it again.
With everything you're saying.
I believe you. I believe
everything.
Because
whack movies don't make money like that.
That's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
Name a whack movie that made a lot of money.
Batman vs Superman.
And it was delivered. You know what I mean? Like, listen. People want to see the spectacle. I'm not saying that the films couldn't be enjoyed. I'm simply saying they weren't that great. If you compare those films to Nolan's other work, they don't even come close. Inception is better than all three of those films. Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, but you should say it.
It's a dope movie.
Because it's true.
It's a dope movie.
It's better than all three of those films.
It's not better than all three, but it's a dope ass movie.
I mean,
it's one of my favorites.
I like Nolan's work. I really do. Way better than, I don't like Zack Snyder's work at all. So that's already an issue for me there. But I was.
No, he doesn't like the 300.
No, 300 was whack. That's another unpopular opinion. We can go there too.
Read a book.
Yeah, I like books. I like books.
With pictures in them.
I do. I do. They my favorite kind. They my favorite kind. Preferably in color, but you know, I take the black and white Ninja Turtle joints when, you know, because they're classics. You know, look, I'm sure there's gonna be some heat down below in the comments for this, and that's cool because I understand why people like it. Most people understand why I don't, and the back and forth we usually have about it, I mean, whatever. I've never been swayed. I've certainly swayed some folks though, because really at the end of the day, I feel like people, you really got to go back and watch those first two films. They were dark the right kind of way. They were done the way the comic books existed in that day. And they gave you a pretty good balance of, again, Bruce Wayne versus who Batman is. And like trying to live that life of like, well, you know, I gotta do this Playboy thing, I gotta do this millionaire thing, I gotta do this business thing, but at night I still gotta make sure I take care of this and deal with the issues that are plaguing my city. And that didn't happen. In the second film, you just got a weak Bruce Wayne who more or less was just ready to give up. And that just didn't fly with me. I mean, Batman is the kind of character that, like, staring in the face of death with the Red Hood holding the Joker as a hostage and him saying, you're gonna have to kill him. You gotta kill me or you gotta kill the Joker. You gotta kill him. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Look at like, that's him. That's Batman. Like, that's who he is. Like, this is who I am. These are my morals. I got this. That's who he is. That's what we look to him for. He's the smartest person in the entire Justice League. He's supposed to lead that. But this guy, this Joker, this nurse walking down the street blowing up buildings got him so shook. He don't even know if he wants to do it anymore. It's like they stole a page out of Spider-Man 2. I don't want to be Spider-Man. They're like, come on, man. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. I'm glad y'all liked it. It wasn't great. That's all it is to it. Hit me in the love. Do whatever K puts in the comments.
You ain't getting nothing. Say your own comments. Spell your own email address.
That's cool. I got it, man. Gage at Loading Snacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do, man? I ain't say the Matrix is bad. I mean, Matrix is cool. This is not jokes. I don't hear nothing coming from you.
I'm just
agreeing, my man.
Oh,
and
man.
cool.
I know where you at. Come on, man.
The Batman
Exactly.
guy, I would have.
Well, I'm listening. I know he's a Batman guy, but that's what makes it important. Like,
I don't agree with you. I mean, I agree that the third film wasn't as powerful as the first two, but
I agree with that.
the
Okay.
second Dark Knight movie, like, that literally, like, changed so much for me in the aspect of how this would be a modern day Batman, just like you said. So, and I
the
think
first movie did that.
I believe the second one did too.
How? What did it do? What did that movie do that did that for you? Give me some specific examples.
It's
like,
just like what you said, where, like, you know, the first Batman films were on set and they felt like it was in the 30s or something, give you that Gotham feel like it's from
Right.
cartoons. And this one was a modern day set. They, you know, the Joker's.
but what about the movie and the character? What made you like? Because Batman Begins did that already. So by the time this film came out, that wasn't new. That's par for the course. That's part of the expectation. Period. It shouldn't feel any different.
It just felt like a modern day Batman. That's all I.
Which is cool.
I mean, it felt.
Does the current Batman feel like a modern day Batman to you?
No.
Okay.
Futuristic Batman.
It feels like a futuristic. This one feels.
The Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That feels like a futuristic Batman.
Yeah. All right. I'm done
We
with
can
you.
get into that a whole other
I'm
day.
done. Yeah. All right. I'm done with that. Listen. Whatever you got, drop it any low. I can't. You know. Jones was in. They were alright. I seen them more than once in the theater. IMAX.